Crocky, mate. Regular Cali sent me on a mission to find a particular bird for today's profile, and I've been hunting. I even have its own special bird call. Caw-caw-caw! Bark-a-bark! Caw-caw-caw!
Shut the f up.
That's the wrong bird, but she's definitely signaling her for her mating call. What's going on with ya, big dog? And of course, it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope your day is going phenomenal. And if it isn't, well, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Speaking of such, Floowandereeze is a top meta deck. I'm telling you, Floowandereeze is the top meta deck, boy! The new Battle of Chaos set has given this deck some crazy support, and I'm going to be showing you all about it. Today, I'm not only going to be showing you the deck profile, I'm also going to be showing you budget options in the combos, so let's go ahead and jump on in. All right, mate, if I had to give these particular duckies a rating, Italian Cali would say it's 4 out of 5 squamadas, but Crocky, I gotta give it 5 out of 5 anime-adorned Archosaurs because this deck is too strong. One of the big reasons why Floowandereeze is huge inside of this meta is because it completely ignores Artifact Scythe, a card that prevents you from special summoning from the extra deck. What is that? Also, this deck's ability to be able to not only play through disruptions, but to disregard some of its older weaknesses like hand traps such as Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Infinite Impermanence, and of course, the ever so played Nibiru, which was never really a weakness. Starting off with the Floowandereeze monsters, there are 3 copies of Robina, 3 copies of Eaglin, 2 copies of Stree, and 1 copy of Tugan. This is the very standard lineup for Floowandereeze, but one card I want to address is 2 copies of Stree instead of 1. Stree is actually phenomenal in this format, being able to banish those outlet cards in your opponent's graveyard, important Phantom Knight cards, but even Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer, a card that is really problematic for a lot of control decks. It also grants you an additional normal summon, so it's extremely strong in this particular situation. But this is fairly standard in any competitive Floowandereeze deck you'll find. A couple of things I do want to highlight is that we have like 15 ways of getting into Robina, and then Floowandereeze Eaglin with our new card that we're playing inside of this deck is still full combo. So moving forward, I play 1 copy of Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. It's obviously because this card doesn't special summon. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone and summon this card to your side of the field, preventing your opponent from special summoning, but allowing you to still normal summon. Now the new card from Battle of Chaos that puts this strategy over the top isn't just Floowandereeze Advent the Adventure. This card is Samorg, Bird of Perfection, and oh my god. Talk about birds of a feather flocking together. The Samorg strategy with Floowandereeze is perfecto. Crocky, mate, you could say that these 2 strategies are birds of prey together. No. The reason why this card is just so powerful inside of this deck is because your opponent will never be able to use cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. You'll never give them a window of activation. Also, this card can send another copy of itself to the graveyard to be able to add this card. Oberus, the Sacred Lands of Samorg, is also an amazing card. Not only does it reduce the tribute requirement for your big bird monsters, it also allows you to gain an additional normal summon, which is huge inside of this deck. This creates situations where you can first turn make Miss Valley Apex Avian and your Impin all without being hit with Nibiru. Of course, I'll show you how useful these cards are in the combo sequence, but moving forward, there's 3 copies of Floowandereeze the Magnificent Map, and then 3 copies of Floowandereeze and the Advent of the Adventure. These cards are pretty much your searcher cards to be able to get you into your Floowandereeze pieces, with Magnifico Map allowing you to gain an additional normal summon, and Advent of the Adventure allowing you to banish any winged beast monster. Keep in mind, it can banish any winged beast monster. That means dead Samorgs if you opened a second one, or maybe even your Miss Valley Apex Avian or Rise of the Mega Monarch if you really need to get into a Floowandereeze card. I love that this card is a quick play and allows you to dodge a lot of important cards like Infinite Impermanence inside of this meta. But moving forward, we do play 1 copy of Dreaming Town and 1 copy of Unexplored Winds. This gives you the additional normal summon on your opponent's turn and isn't part of the combo. And this card is just ridiculous, allowing you to draw additional cards by shuffling in winged beast monsters, but also allowing you to tribute your opponent's cards. From there, for our Big Daddy boss monsters, 2 copies of Impin, 1 Miss Valley Apex Avian, and 1 Ryza, the Mega Monarch. Now, Impin is a card that a lot of players have been dropping down to 1, and I don't think that it's a bad idea, but in this particular build, I'll show you why it's beneficial to play more winged beast targets. Also, for the people that cannot afford Ryza, the Mega Monarch, you do not need to worry. You can actually just play another copy of Miss Valley Apex Avian, as Ryza is a terrible card to open up with this combo sequence that I'm going to show you. It just does not work unless I guess you're going second. So dropping this for another copy of Miss Valley Apex Avian, an Impin, or maybe even Snarl if you wanted to play Snarl is not a bad idea. Moving forward, for those power spell cards, trying to dig into my deck as deep as possible, 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity and 3 copies of Pot of Duality. Pot of Prosperity and Duality is probably the perfect pot twist, allowing you to dig 9 cards deep into your deck, essentially pretty much saying you can get whatever you want from your deck to your hand. If you open these 2 cards in your starting hand, more often than not, you're probably gonna go to full combo almost no matter what. But if you guys cannot afford Pot of Prosperity, Pot of Extravagance is actually a really good choice too. You don't need your extra deck for this particular deck, and drawing 2 cards can sometimes be more beneficial than searching just one particular card. After that, for the disruption cards, there's 3 copies of Dimensional Shifter. There are so many decks that just auto lose to Dimensional Shifter, and this deck can play completely under it. It does conflict with Simorgh, but if you're going to open Dimensional Shifter and Dimensional Shifter your opponent, more often than not, you're just going to win off of that no matter what. 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. I decided that if I'm going second and I'm going against a board that has like Destiny Hero, Phoenix Enforcer, Wandering Griffin Rider, or probably a huge negation board, Dark Ruler No More allows me to negate their board so I can continue to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then break their board, and now they have to deal with mine. I don't really care about it not inflicting damage, but for the people that can't afford Dark Ruler No More, maybe you're pushing your budget, Mystic Mine is actually a fairly good card in this deck because it is searchable through Terraforming. That's a card that I don't play. I actually have to drop Terraforming for a second copy of Impin, but you could play it as you'd be playing 3 failed spells that would allow you to be able to search whatever you need, negate your opponents if you're using the Mystic Mine, pop off, and then replace it with another Mystic Mine. Lastly is 2 copies of Book of Moon, the ever so versatile Book of Moon, allowing you to flip your monsters face down or your opponents, dodging cards like Imperm and Effect Veiler, Skill Drain, and stuff like that. I'm going to blaze through the extra deck because I want to get you right into the combo sequence, and the extra deck really doesn't matter. The cards that you will probably go into the most is the Divine Arsenal AA Zeus cards. If you have 2 Floowandereeze monsters on your side of the field that are level 1, you can make these and make Zeus. It doesn't come up often. And then from there, there's Omega, Elder Entity, Entis. Basically, if my opponent were to Dogmatica Maximus me, I decided to play some cards that would really go well with that. And then Relinquished Anima, they never see this coming because, you know, you do have level 1 monsters. You can just link it off for an Anima to get rid of an opponent's card. But ultimately, you could play a Dogmatica engine inside of this deck. I decided to go against it because I did not have the room. But more importantly, this deck does not need the Dogmatica engine to pop off, so that was my observation. But moving on, how exactly does this Floowandereeze combo work? I'm going to start off with the very basics and then work myself up, as Floowandereeze Robina by itself is full combo. What you guys are going to do here is normal summon Robina, use Robina's effect to add Eaglin, and then on resolve, Robina allows you to gain the additional normal summon. You summon Eaglin. Eaglin's effect will allow you to get Floowandereeze Impin, and then on resolve, these 2 monsters will allow you to normal summon again. Use them to normal summon Impin, and here is the tricky part. Chainlink 1, you want to use Impin, and Chainlink 2, you only want to use Eaglin. The reason why I say this, I'll actually explain it a little bit later, but you'll add the Eaglin from your banished pile to your hand, and then you'll add Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. You'll set Dreaming Town and then pass your turn. On your opponent's main phase, you can activate Dreaming Town, allowing you to get an additional normal summon. Use that to normal summon Floowandereeze Eaglin. Chainlink 1 is Eaglin, Chainlink 2 is Robina, which will allow you to chain block your opponent from being able to disrupt your Eaglin. Add your Robina from your banished pile to your hand, and then, add your Robina from your banished pile to your hand. Then you have the option of adding Ryza the Mega Monarch, Miss Valley Apex Avian, or your Floowandereeze Impin. Let's say we're just going for a negation, we'll add the Miss Valley Apex Avian, normal summon the Robina. Robina effect, a lot of times right here, I'd like to add Floowandereeze Toucan, but also Stree and the Simorgh Bird of Perfection, depending on your particular combo sequence, are all on the table. You'll then go ahead and tribute both of these two monsters to be able to normal summon your Mist Valley Apex Avian, and then trigger the effect of your Eaglin to add back to your hand. And then you can even use Floowandereeze Dreaming Town to flip all of your opponent's special summon monsters face down. But how do you make your combo sequence unstoppable? How do you prevent your opponent from being able to use cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring on you? Well, it only requires Rabina and then our super awesome card from the Battles of Chaos set and Samorg Bird of Perfection. There's not going to be a single time our opponent could use Ash Blossom to stop our main combo line, which is amazing. You can start off here by normal summoning Rabina using its effect, but since you also satisfied the conditions of Samorg Bird of Perfection, you can use it as Chain Link too. Your opponent won't be able to use Rabina or Ash Blossom to stop Rabina. You then normal summon Samorg Bird of Perfection and resolve Rabina, adding Floowandereeze Eaglin from your deck to your hand, and then normal summoning. Keep in mind, Rabina's effect is on resolution to normal summon, so Samorg Bird of Perfection has not been able to had a chance to activate. You will normal summon Eaglin, and since both of these monsters will be activated in the same chain, you can make Samorg Bird of Perfection Chain Link 2 and Eaglin Chain Link 1. With Samorg Bird of Perfection, you'll send a Samorg Bird of Perfection from your deck to your graveyard. That will allow you to add the Ouroboros of the Sacred Lands of Samorg, and then resolving Eaglin, you'll add a Floowandereeze Impin from your deck to your hand, and then you'll tribute off both of these monsters. You'll normal summon Floowandereeze Impin, triggering the effect of your Eaglin and your Impin. Your opponent hasn't been able to Ash Blossom your Eaglin or your Impin. You'll add the Eaglin from your Banish pile to your hand, and then the Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town from your deck to your hand. And that's pretty much how you are able to completely stop your opponent from Ash Blossoming you. They couldn't stop the Rabina, they couldn't stop the Eaglin, they couldn't stop the Imperm. You go completely full combo. But let me actually show you how this deck gets even more bananas. I am gonna do the exact same combo, except I'm gonna add a high level Floowandereeze monster from my deck to my hand. This could either be Floowandereeze Impin or Mist Valley Apex Avian. I'll be able to summon both of these monsters to my side of the field on turn 1, and my 5th summon, well, you're gonna go ahead and see. So I'll go ahead and get Floowandereeze Impin, and we'll start off with the same combo, normal summoning Rabina, activating its effect, and then chaining the Perfection. You'll summon Perfection from your hand to your side of the field, and then add Eaglin. You'll also be able to resolve the effect of Rabina to normal summon Eaglin. Then Eaglin will be Chain Link 1 by your choice, Perfection will be Chain Link 2. You'll send a Perfection from your deck to the graveyard, then you'll add your Ouroboros. And then you'll also resolve the effect of Eaglin to add your other Mist Valley monster from your deck to your hand. And I'm gonna get extremely cocky. I'm not even gonna tribute some of the Apex Avian. I'm gonna go ahead and tribute off my Rabina and my Eaglin. I'm gonna tribute summon from my Impin. Impin is going to be Chain Link 1, and Eaglin is gonna be Chain Link 2. I'll add Eaglin from my Banish pile to my hand, and Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. Now you're probably wondering, that was 4 summons, right? Your 5th summon has to be Apex Avian, but I'd have to tribute these monsters. I'm not using the effect of Impin to gain an additional normal summon, though if I would, it would probably be for a barrier statue monster, and I still wouldn't tribute that. I would actually use Ouroboros of the Sacred Lands of Samorg. This card is actually phenomenal right here. Basically what it does is it allows me to reveal the Mist Valley Apex Avian or any winged beast monster from my deck, and then I can tribute summon 1 less tribute. Also, if I control a winged beast monster, I can gain an additional normal summon. So I'll use the effect of Ouroboros, tributing off the Samorg for Mist Valley Apex Avian for my 5th summon, and I even have Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. Now I bet you Samorg Bird of Perfection flew under your head. You didn't realize how amazing this card is for the Floowandereeze strategy, and I don't blame you. But I'm actually going to show you one more combo sequence that makes this card just an extremely solid piece inside of this deck. Samorg of Perfection plus Floowandereeze Eaglin. Normally, if you open Eaglin, it's not full combo. It's nothing which you need to get to full combo. But with Samorg Bird of Perfection, this is actually full combo, and is the biggest reason why I decided to play Samorg Bird of Perfection, because while the initial Rabina and Samorg combo is nice, and while the 3-card combo is nice, adding consistency and making some of your cards that aren't as powerful or bricky by themselves extremely nice is what makes this card even more powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by normal summon Floowandereeze Eaglin, Chain Link 1 Eaglin, Chain Link 2 Samorg Bird of Perfection. I'll normal summon it to my side of the field, and then I'll add Floowandereeze Impin. And then I'll activate the effect of, I won't use the effect of normal summoning Eaglin, by the way. I won't normal summon the Impin right now. But I will activate the effect of Samorg Bird of Perfection. I'll send a Samorg Bird of Perfection to be able to add an Ouroboros. And then I'll add the Elboars and activate its effect, reducing the Floowandereeze Impin by 1 level. And I'll tribute off the Eaglin for the Impin. I'll then use Impin as Chainlink 1, Eaglin as Chainlink 2, add Eaglin to my hand, and add Floowandereeze in Dreaming Town. And then I'll set the Floowandereeze in Dreaming Town. On my opponent's turn, I can activate that Dreaming Town, normal summon the Eaglin to add the Mist Valley Apex Avian, and look, I have 2 monsters to tribute. I'll tribute those monsters for the Mist Valley Apex Avian, and then I can use the effect of Eaglin to add itself back into my hand. And that's pretty much how you get full combo just with the Eaglin and the Samorg Bird of Perfection. Now, I know I haven't showed you any Floowandereeze Advent in the Adventure combos, but don't worry, Floowandereeze Advent in the Adventure plus Floowandereeze Eaglin is also full combo. So now you have multiple ways to make full combo with Eaglin, as well as multiple ways to make 1-card combos with Rabina, which helps boost the consistency of the deck tremendously. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by normal summon Floowandereeze Eaglin using its effect, and as Chainlink 2, I'll actually activate Floowandereeze Advent of the Adventure. I'll banish the Eaglin to be able to add Rabina from my deck to my hand, and then resolving Eaglin, I'll add Floowandereeze Impin from my deck to my hand and normal summon the Rabina. Rabina's effect will then activate. It'll allow you to add Floowandereeze Street, and then resolving, normal summoning Street. Street will then activate, banishing the Floowandereeze Advent to the Adventure, and then gaining you another normal summon. I'll go ahead and tribute both of these monsters off for your Floowandereeze Impin, using the effect of Floowandereeze Impin as Chainlink 1, Stree as Chainlink 3, and Eaglin as Chainlink 2. We'll add both of these monsters from our decks to our hand, and then on resolve, we'll be able to add a Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town. And that's pretty much how you do it. You get an additional card with Street into your hand, which kind of replaces for the Floowandereeze Advent in the Adventure, and you still get full combo. So what exactly would be the perfect board for Floowandereeze? Well, there's multiple ways to be able to achieve this board. This is probably one of the funnest ways, but also anything that involves Dimensional Shifter is pretty much a KO for your opponent. But I'm going to go ahead and use this board as it does use some more Bird of Perfection just to show you how cool this card can be, and Floowandereeze the Magnificent Map. I'll start off by using Magnificent Map to banish Rabina in order to normal summon Eaglin. Now Eaglin will be Chainlink 1 and Rabina will be Chainlink 2. For Eaglin, I'll add the Mist Valley Apex Avian in this particular situation, and then I'll add Rabina from my deck to my hand, resolving, or banish pile to my hand. Resolving, I'll normal summon Rabina, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 is going to be Samorg Bird of Perfection. I'll normal summon the Perfection, and then resolving Rabina, I'll add Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, and then I will normal summon again. This time around, I will use both Eaglin and Rabina for tribute. We will tribute for the Floowandereeze Impin, and now Impin will be Chainlink 1, Perfection will be Chainlink 2. Yeah, I think I'll just stop it right there, as I don't need to add any of these just yet from my banish pile to my hand. With this particular situation, I will go ahead and send Samorg Bird of Perfection to add an Ouroboros, the Sacred Lands of Samorg, and then resolving Impin, I can go ahead and normal summon the bear. Oh, I can go ahead and add the Floowandereeze in Dreaming Town. Woo! Got a bird brain going on right here. And then normal summoning Barrier Statues of the Stormwinds. Of course, since I normal summon Barrier Statue of Stormwinds, I can use Eaglin to add from my deck to my hand. And if I wanted to hurry up and push the Mist Valley Apex Avian, I can just destroy the Magnificent Map to activate the Ouroboros, turn the Apex Avian into a 1 tribute monster, and then use this effect to tribute off the Bird of Perfection for my Apex Avian. This would leave me with a devastating board of still having Eaglin, Rabina, still having Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town for the additional normal summon, as well as a negate through Apex Avian and an Impin on field, which means that any given time my opponent is going to have to fear a Ryza the Mega Monarch. This card not only allows me to manipulate cards from the graveyard to the top of the decks, you can also spend another card on the field to the hand, which is phenomenal. But of course, if you guys are not playing Ryza, then of course you can play another Mist Valley Apex Avian, as that card is not once per turn. And that is all we got for Floowandereeze in the Down on Under. Really hope you enjoyed the deck profile, as Floowandereeze is a bird of a feather that flocks together, mate. As always, mate, if you want to see more TheCaliEffect content, go ahead and check out these videos as I catch you on the next one.